Ndizi TV ubwansu bw'Gusii.
Rebeya umwancho muri bedasene Ndizi TV ne chinga kichinde tokumirana asembeo ngoko ariganya twemanya mangana maya asenchera yobwenge bunabeire ka wateka eretaria ne Dorcas Kemuma nani go tokubwaterana nere Lydia Mose oyo komanya wetra senchera ye manyerio nere Sara Momanyi okwene kinga marigine chibichago ikira senchera yobwikirano bogo tubwatia wetra senchera ye metandao asensemo ya Facebook ogotonyara buna Ndizi TV News kwa YouTube no yugo ikaga mwanchuburi asensemo ya Facebook ogotonya buna Ndizi TV News digital o ikaga YouTube no tere buna Ndizi TV News nabo igase website tobwati buna www.ndizitv.net. Gavana we county ya Nyamira Mose bono nigatebuna niga abakori emiremo be serikali ababwate amasakara yoborimo ase county eyo nigo bono barachi kwimukiriwa igitambukiro egetindi keri chiko ase bono arachi kwane kinga inkoba gose inkobe kwa baretene ni nabo igogotiwa emiremo yabo kakwana ne nyumba choborari ase ritukorera rero nyaliboni gatebuna nigo bono barachi kwane kinga kwe wabare ege susuro ase okoirenia engeria erionse babeire bagwakana ase gekakere babeire ase chobisi ase boigo atebamna nigo barachigotiwa emiremo yabo
asaba batahanya wabwate fixed certificates will be legal drop by 4,800,000 lakini ana 2.5 going to work until the start in another 3 days. Kera abantu batumeka bwera loko bwera advanced colleagues and the Lydia asenje kaliyo natemba department management affect nature health kubata mabadiliko ya mashine hii ba health kitabu ya shatu shindo wana wenda ubisana ikara wanaba wotwaje the finance and public service na church kubata abantu kumatatu ishi wana ndio church.
Togos kama tumancho morigeni gomora yubwense Dr. William Ruto akwanira bakenya igoro ya embureje tuigo eyegendete koba omochando ochasa bakenya ase egeka kyamatuko abwango iga kagokwana asumo basolero korasa magacho State House ya gotoka ime yo mocho Nairobi Ruto nigatebna niga embureyo yabeire korenta asare nene gocha ase abakenya ase kirinigo yabeire gekoira chinyumba enibo y'abakenya nabo igono nyane tugona kwirira no nyane gosekwa wechi skuru asa atebamna nigo bono embureyo erachi kogendera gotwa ase amatuko ali motwe ase boigo akwanira igoro iyo kwigoro wechi skuru
210 lives as of today. It has also caused injuries to many more and wreaked havoc on property, infrastructure and livelihoods. No corner of our country has been spared from this havoc. The reopening of date of our schools after the April holidays, which was scheduled for Monday this week, has had to be varied. Transportation has become challenging in many parts of the country due to flooded and damaged roads and bridges and the threat of ravaging rivers and overflowing dams in downstream regions is immense. Water volumes in the Seven Forks hydroelectric power dam have hit historic highs, with Masinga and Kiambere dams already spilling over through the managed spillways and threatening to overflow into neighboring settlements and causing devastation downstream in Garissa and Tana River counties. Sadly, we have not seen the last of this perilous period, as the situation is expected to escalate. Meteorological reports paint a dire picture. The rains will persist, increasing both in duration and intensity for the rest of this month and possibly after.
Kawukwanira igoro jechisemi omora ibwense nigo atebrebuna ni goseniga bwatuka ogochika koro ase wizara gochase wizara yechisemi kwene kingango sukia bare omotwe okwigoro wechiskuru kwaika ase chinga kichiria chitemanyireiri ayanko bwatikana nogotwa kwembure nyinge ase nseito ya Kenya ase boigo ababoria ababunge kwene kinga nkoira bare chibesa cha CDF goche ase chiskuru erio chichikokonya kwagacha magacho yebirasi ebyo byababigosaliwa nembura enyinge.
The Ministry of Education is directed to postpone the dates of reopening of all schools in the country for the second term until further notice. Members of Parliament are requested to reorganize the CDF allocations to prioritize reconstruction of school infrastructure that has been damaged as a result of the floods ravaging the country. As the national government plays its role in dealing with the current situation, I request and urge county governments, development partners, and private sector to join in these efforts and provide support as, where, and when they can. In Nairobi, settlements in riparian reserves have complicated the response efforts and compounded and aggravated the risk to human life, safety, and property destruction. The Ministry of Interior is hereby directed to enforce the relocation notices issued earlier upon their expiry at 6:30 p.m. today.
Ruto boigo nigo aboria aba waziri gose aburi mu waziri wensemo yobochenu kwene kinga kubwatira nabale amona babwatani bande ime ijense eriyo kwene kinga ebintu biribiganiri ase abakenya chinga kichiga buna amaryogo nareo aisine ase chinyagitari.
The government, working with stakeholders, has put in place adequate measures to provide temporary shelter as well as food and non-food essential supplies. The ministry responsible for special programs is directed to work with development partners and relevant humanitarian organizations to mobilize adequate food and non-food supplies to support all affected persons in every part of the country. The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, through the National Cereals and Produce Board, is directed to make available food supplies in government stores to support this effort. The Ministry of Health is directed to work with development partners, including the World Health Organization, AMREF, Red Cross, UNHCR, World Food Programme, and other relevant humanitarian agencies to mobilize resources and logistical support to avail essential drugs, food, and other medical supplies to those.
Chinga kechuboigo Ruto nigo ababolire abakenya koba maiso chinga kechiga chembre nyinge ase ababolia kubwatia machiko aliakorwaigwa igoro ye chimbura anene ase ogotatambuka amacha kera aramange na boigo kwerusana nya kurase amaliba ase ababolia boigo bali bakurundia chigari gosaba gendia kwene kingati bari kwimokia bantu chigositi bari kotara ase chipara chiria chibwate amaliba amange ase keriti bamanyete ankikere goche ase chipare cho ase boigo aborikira omonto kwerenda chinga kechiga.
Further, the government appreciates the goodwill demonstrated by thousands of individuals and institutions, volunteers and others who have made tremendous input into alleviating the suffering and pain by those affected by the prevailing crisis. In the same spirit, the public is called upon to respect and adhere to safety alerts and interventions, and to cease and desist from risking their lives or the lives of others by daring the force of nature. Kenyans must avoid endangering their lives by recklessly attempting to cross flooded rivers or drive on waterlogged roads. I extend my gratitude to the media for their commitment to contribute airtime worth Kenya shillings 100 million to support response to this crisis. The measures we are taking at present are aimed at responding to the current crisis in the immediate and the short term. For us to comprehensively address such a threat in the long term, we have to acknowledge and act to reverse the adverse effects.
Togotigana na yue na goska motwe ni gori tukoria rero abararia ase nsengima bagendete gucengera ritukorio bosibore guce ase abararia ase chi county ao chara emega yokone kinga bacengere ritukerio ase county gosasora gongorwa Gusii county ya Kisii amoneria ya Nyamira nigo bamurana ase omochiner Nyamira ase bakora okurubikana kwa morembe na boiga gosimika emete ase chiskuru ao nenchere yamo yogochengera ritukeriga ria bararia
amalieta ngoro kwa roja sigichana guseka kasungura kira tugendete gucengera obusiburi bwa bariki tiga ntebe nga gusentebye security agencies gusabantu buburendi abasikali nonde bwensi orange no muriki nga rero iga TV ya ise kulima gusere dise kulima na bora chandike sana tiga to support ya bariki omusikale kara kwa rero muriki mokonye ikiagira mambye kara ko no musara na serikali muriki onero goja kuriya gukwanire na ende tigante byombe bya media council nga tafadhali ka kikamuranche ruwanerera obusibori bwa bariki teko era saga kalimo goja mwatoma na ende karate makubwate nonye paka koti abariki banyore obohene bwabo na ende going forward abariki baito baitirwe na abande baumire asengencho yemeremo tafadhali report yesoke totebunga ningi kiabete na ndonye compensation keroro chi family chabo chiri wase bali bakure baewe ase bali bare moyo bae gugentogeke erinde ribana kwengurera tigante byaba Gusii bonsi pia se bakabeta omuriketari omubisa muriki gachira agokonye erinde ryo manye ningi kegenderete asore tigaba likibonsi pi bari me ya Gusii na ime ya Kenya mbaganeri Happy World Press Freedom Day korugiga iga asomochie obosongo
Omosubati omotangani emergency Recho Ruto nigo abwatukire obokonye ritukoria rero ase town wasaso mochi otika wase wadi ya Thika town ase bono abwatukira obokonye gochasa abantu bali babere bagwa no mochando bwimbura yetoigo ase keri ateba munani gerebo yago ikange abantu abo babere bakonyora omochando ase chinga kechiga abarai ao nigo baikirana ase ensemeyo elio kweneke babwatukire obokonye gochasa abantu abo babire bagwa no gwakoko kwembura yetoigo asabwatuka ebintu buna jindagira amo nebintu buna chichiko egati yebintu binde.
Waswahili wanasema rafiki mzuri ni yule akufae ukiwa kwa dhiki, si ndio? Na ndio umeona hao marafiki wote hawajakuja tu kwa ajili ni viongozi wanafanya kazi kwa county ama kwa serikali, lakini pia ni marafiki wenu. Na mimi najua kwamba wakati shida yoyote inatokezea, mtu ambaye anaumia zaidi ni nani? Ni mama. Mama ako na mzigo mkubwa sana. Mama anafikiria watoto wake, anafikiria mume wake, anafikiria jirani, anafikiria community, anafikiria kanisa, anafikiria msikiti. Si ni kweli? Na ndio nimeona hata kina mama wamekuja na watoto. Kwa sababu mama amesema hata nikikaa nyumbani itanisaidia nini? Afadhali hata kama sina mtu wa kuachia mtoto, wacha nikuje na huyo. Hili shida ambalo tumepata sio tu hapa Thika peke yake. Nafikiria mmeweza kuona katika runinga kwamba ni shida ambayo tumeweza kupata katika sehemu nyingi ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Na kama vile mheshimiwa Alisa amesema ni kwamba tunasema asante kwa mvua, maana mvua ndio inatuwezesha kuweza kukuza vyakula. Mnakumbuka kwamba mwaka wa 2022, 2023 tulipata janga kubwa la ukame na tulipoteza vitu vingi, hata tulipoteza mifugo yetu, hata kule porini tulipoteza wanyama wetu, na tulikuwa na shida mingi sana ya chakula, na tulimuomba Mungu na tukamwambia kwamba
Kiombe kia para kia NTC ni gobono kia temna niko kirachi kubwatuka amachiko goche ase chigari chechiskuru na boigo chigari chobosombi ase chipara gokwana chinga kibaringe ase gikaro kyogosangererie ebirengererio imeyo muchokisi ni gobatemna ni gobono barachi kubwatuka chilensensi goche ase chiskuru gose chigari chechiskuru imeyense bunenchereye moyo gotanga emebasokano.
And today we are here in Kisii, and we are discussing two regulations, the school transport regulation and the heavy commercial regulations. So under the heavy commercial regulations, there are few issues that we've proposed under the regulations. And one of them is the licensing of the operators and the licensing of the vehicles, the heavy commercial vehicles. The other safety issues that we've been able to address is the under-ride protective device that is providing when there is a small vehicle that is driving behind a trailer or a heavy commercial vehicle, and also the reflective material that is supposed to enhance the visibility of the tracks. So that is about the heavy commercial. And also the issue of the towing for those towed trucks on our roads, so that we avoid them colliding or other road users colliding with them. And those are the main issues. Under the school transport regulations, we've also been able to introduce the school license, the school operator license, and also the vehicle license. We call them the road service license under the regulation. Then the issue of the vehicles that this rule will apply to those operators, the school vehicles, the school transport operators, and also now there is the introduction of a NAM that is ensuring the safety of the children.
Monjumurire iga nongo ikera omwere wa mangana maja senchira yo wenge korende ayo amana yanda mange tugende tukwarigania no nyanyore asenchira yo bwagare chikoraga ense yemo yabono maragoba edetariane Dorcas Kemuma nani goto bwatirana nere Lydia Mose oyore kumanya gwetera asenchira yemenyerio nere Sara Momanyi ene kingamarigene chibicha gwikire asenchira yo bwikiranu twara oborigererio buya imeyandizi TV nabo bwansu Gusii.